What's popping? Oh man, I want to start this video off on a lighter note because we do have quite a bit to talk about. It has been a rough day today. I want to show you this picture of me next to a gorilla statue here in Omaha, Nebraska, the Omaha Zoo. Very fun. I thought it would relate quite well. Gorilla gang, my friends. Anyways, we've got to cover AMC today. We've got quite a bit to talk about. I'm going to try and wrap this up as fast as I can because we do have a lot of information to cover. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Trades Trades. We're going to give technical analysis on different stocks in the stock market, as well as potential buy, hold, or sell opinions on these given stocks. I like to preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor nor expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Let's just get right into the video. We have quite a bit to talk about. Excuse my voice, guys. I have been doing quite a bit of coverage on AMC and doing a lot of videos while I am in quarantine here out at Fort Sill. So it is giving out a little bit. I know it's a little bit raspy, but bear with me. Today was a rough day for AMC. I completely understand that, and I am never going to BS you guys. I'm always going to be transparent. I do still have my position in AMC. It is sitting at 389 shares, down about $827. And before I had my Fidelity account liquidated, in which case I lost about $30,000 on BB, Nokia, and AMC because of the collateral issues that Robinhood, Fidelity, and many other brokerage accounts were facing, right? I had a much heavier stake in the stock, and I have been adding to it as often as I can. But today was a rough day. We went down about 20%, which should in turn activate the SSR tomorrow, the short sale rule. We will cover that in some more detail later. But we have a couple different things I'll point out to you on the charts here. Take it for what it is because they change so fast with everything going on right now. We had the cross back under of the 15 MA underneath the 200 EMA, which is a bearish indicator, meaning this has re-entered bearish territory. We did break underneath this ascending level of support, right? So we broke underneath that with a pretty wide range candle bar, meaning that it's pretty well broke, right? And in order to regain bullish territory, we're going to need to really see some volume step in and some more buying pressure. Right now, looking at the level twos, there are quite a few buy orders waiting to get filled at $6.80, 66,000 in total, which is nothing in comparison to the crazy volume that we've seen, but it is still a decent wall. So I do anticipate that is likely to be a wall leading into tomorrow. So I do want to start off with that and just give you guys what the charts are looking like right now. It is bearish territory. Macroscopically speaking, we did see some sell-off. We did see some more shorting overall on the stock today, and that is what the numbers are looking like. So we're going to come over here to, not that. We're going to come over here to Internet Explorer. And I'm going to show you guys a couple of things that I want to clarify just for anybody who is interested in a couple of questions that I've been getting, right? So what is a good short interest ratio for AMC Entertainment? The short interest ratio, also known as the days to cover, is calculated by dividing the number of shares of a stock sold short divided by its average trading volume. We can see right here that the overall days to cover on AMC is 0.68, meaning that it would take about 0.68 days for shorts to cover their positions. Now, this is not referring to options, right? Options expire differently than shorts. Shorts can cover at any given time, but the trick is the longer that they hold their stock, right, the more cost that they are paying to hold the stock. There's an interest that is accrued with every single day that they hold. So if you take out, let's say, $1 billion on a short and the interest rate is 5.17% annually, you accrue that day by day, and that does add up very fast, especially when you are playing with high dollar amounts. So since it is a low days to cover, it would only take about 0.68 days for shorts to cover their position, meaning that currently we do have a little more selling pressure than buying pressure on the stock, which is obvious to everybody that's been watching the price action here. We do have 88% current utilization of lendable shares, meaning that 88% of available lendable shares, legal shares, of course, this is not including counterfeit or naked shorting, right, are being used. That is extremely high. That means that only 12% of lendable shares are available at this given moment, that the hedge funds are still doubling down on their positions, and there is extreme short interest in the stock. Now, I'm going to update this today, and this is updated as of today, February 4th, and we did see about 44.88 million total in short volume, which was 30% of the total market volume today. Now, the number is down, but in comparison to the total market volume, it is higher, right? So if we look at this in comparison, we have actually seen the overall amount of short volume coming into the stock day by day increase comparatively to the overall total volume. Now, what does this mean? Well, This doesn't necessarily mean that people are selling, right? Because we are seeing less total volume come into the stock. This could actually indicate that people are holding the stock. But I do know there are people out there that are scared, that are taking their losses, that are stepping away and don't want anything to do with AMC anymore. And I understand that. Everybody's in different financial situations. And I actually have some things that I do want to cover here. I've got them pulled up on my computer because I do think that they are fair concerns. So I want to show you all these guys. I did take these from the YouTube channel because it's people with general concerns, and I do want to address them. So I'm going to read these off for you, and then we'll talk about it after. Bruh, you need to fact check yourself before putting it out. Was planning to sell last week for a profit until I saw your video. How effing positive you were. Shorts have to cover this week. Now I'm down 40K. Your excuse was they're manipulating the market then. Why didn't they manipulate it for GameStop in January? Reported to the SEC. It's illegal what he's doing. People are losing a lot over this, y'all. Following this effing YouTuber trying to grow his channel, spreading BS. Tunnel vision. I'm out if it's another red day tomorrow. Volume is flying down soon. It will hit bottom out and sit there at its lowest point, and we will look back at these YouTubers, see them for the scam they're pulling. Y'all are listening to this guy when he's grown significantly on YouTube with his coverage and making money on these super chats. His loss is a drop in the bucket compared to what you've made him. Trey, what do you mean you're not in this for money and profit? And this is actually more of a concern than anything, and I understand where you're coming from, my friend. I've been following from the start, and you said that AMC had a price target for at least $30. I dropped money on this because of that note. And one thing that I do want to address is I did never give a hard price target on this stock. I have always tried to be real with you guys, and I've said multiple times, anybody that gives you a price target on this is lying to you because it's not possible to give an actual price target on this. All that we can do is look at the overall numbers going into AMC, right? And take a guess, right? An educated decision based on the numbers as to what's happening right now. The last thing, don't listen to this dude, Trey. He's just saying cool things like diamond hands, BS, just to gain subs. And he'll have the SEC looking at it because he did irresponsibly tell people to buy and sell emotionally. I saved the clips where he did. Now, guys, I've always said it exactly how it is. I've always said I'm going to give you my opinion and be as transparent as I possibly can, right? And you guys can form your own opinions based off of that, and I'm never ever going to ask to control that, right? People can have their own opinions, right? I'm not bashing anybody here. There's no malicious hate or intent towards any of those guys dropping those comments, but I'm pointing them out because I have a feeling there's a lot of people out there that have those same general concerns, right? Am I giving up on the stock? Did I just scam all of you? Did I do all this for media coverage, right? Am I just doing this for money? And my answer to you is this. There was a time in my life where I was not in this situation with YouTube. I got lucky. I got extremely lucky, right? What happened with YouTube was a freak accident. I put out one video on AMC talking about the details that I talk about in every single video, the short interest, the numbers, the media coverage, everything that's possibly come out about the situation. And I basically said, you know, this is how it is, and this is what. And it blew up. It blew up very fast, and I got lucky. I do not take any credit for that in the least bit, right? And with that being said, before this happened, before I did YouTube, before I got into the Army, there was a time in my life where I was really struggling, guys. I was really doing bad. I had a point in my life where I was $30,000 deep in some medical debt. I lived in my car for an entire summer eating bananas and ramen noodles because that's all I could afford to eat because I had so many different issues going on, right? I know what it feels like to not be financially secure. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that that I'm not extremely lucky and my situation's not different. And I understand that. And what I want to say to address that, my friends, is if you're in a financial situation where you really can't afford to lose this, I've tried to really push that from the beginning that there is absolutely no pressure at all for you to hold if you cannot afford to feed yourself. You need to take care of yourself first and foremost, guys. This is the most risky the market has ever been. I've said from the beginning of the series, my friends, and I truly do mean this, that there is nothing guaranteed about AMC, right? It's called Wall Street bets, not Wall Street guaranteed. There's an extreme amount of risk here. We have hedge funds who would control a large amount of money betting against people like us, the retail investors. And with high risk comes high reward, right? So this is an extremely risky play. There's always been an extreme amount of risk. Being heavily shorted like this, we knew it would be a bumpy ride. And essentially all that I want to double down on is I understand this is scary. And I know there are people out there that YOLO'd this play that said, or even if you didn't, even if you just got into this because I said that I'm getting into it. I want to apologize first off if I gave you any impression that that I'm misleading you, or that I'm trying to scam you guys, or that this is for me, that I'm just trying to do this for YouTube, I'm always transparent. People who have watched the channel for a while, who've been here back before I got lucky and this blew up, because that's all that it was pure luck. I have always presented plays. I turned my portfolio from $8,000 to $46,000 without depositing a single penny, because I know how to read charts. I know how to play the market. And I really want to double down on that. I want to double down on that and say, you know, everything going on right now with AMC. If you're scared, if you think that I misled you, I apologize, but I truly don't feel that way. I present information the way that I see it, and I mean no malicious hate. I've got nothing but love for everybody here in the community, everybody that takes the time to watch my videos, and I genuinely still believe there's possibilities here, because the numbers are what the numbers are. The numbers say that we do still have a high amount of short volume, 30% of the total market volume today, right? We do still see that they're lended out 88% of the total shares. That's an extremely high amount. We can see the days to cover. They're currently controlling the battle. I've said this, right? I've said that right now the shorts are winning the battle, and you can see that in front of our eyes, that this is being heavily attacked by shorts, whether it's illegal or not. I personally believe you see a lot of naked shorting and a lot of short laddering, but at the end of the day, that's all I want to say about that. I did want to address it because I know that there are people out there. I know how it feels. And if you have to feed yourself first and foremost, my friends, I truly believe that is what is most important, right? If you can't afford to be in this situation, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that, because I know that I'm in a different situation than you guys. I know there are people out there that can afford to lose the money. I know I'm fortunate to be one of them, right? And maybe that makes me less credible. You guys form your own opinions. I will always allow that to happen. I never want to BS you guys. I'm just going to say it how it is, and you guys can do with that what you want. This is my personal opinion, and that is what I wanted to cover regarding that situation. So, coming here, I do want to show you guys a couple of things. GME hedge fund insider reporting. I think this is a very interesting article, and I do want to point this out and talk to you about it. Let's just read this quick. As you can see, most of things going on with GME right now are just MSM being paid to lure normies into selling their positions. For background, I work in one of the major finance companies, not on finance, but with machine learning time series prediction. But I have lots of meetings with lots of people, and people talk. I can't give away too much info because it may cost my job, but the deep stuff going on, it's over the charts. In 100 years, this event will be spoken of. It's historic. First of all, not all hedge funds shorted GME. This is important because of what is about to happen. Some hedge funds are actually selling the people of their wives and firstborn sons to banks to get loans. I'm speaking of exorbitant amounts. Remember that 35% of the dollars ever printed were printed last year? Guess who's going to get a big piece of that? Why? They want to be the bigger fish on the aquarium. WSB opened the door for a few hedge funds to expand brutally by destroying others. Maybe people here didn't realize yet what they started, but it has epic proportions and you are living it right now. Second, big hedge funds are partnering up, but this is where it comes the problem. Imagine that you will try to rob a bank. What makes you sure that the people that you partner with won't kill you to have less people to share the money with? This is the current situation. This is the waiting. Hedge funds, including the company that I work with, are waiting for the money and to see who they can trust. In the end, they will all backstab each other. This is the finance industry. You can't deny it, because soon as this price skyrockets to Alpha Centauri, guess who will be greedy to start up another effed up short? Yes, the hedge funds all over again, but it's far easier to short at $750. So it's just a matter of who will short first. At work, lots of people are absurdly greedy regarding shorting it. That was what created this opportunity, but some people never learn. This is why you should hold. I'm holding just for fun and to see this crap show. If one day I sell, I will get the dollar bills and put in a frame in my wall. We are living the World War III of financial markets. Now we are on the ships awaiting to arrive to the beach on a new D-Day. Meanwhile, some hedge funds are on our side, long, but don't think that they care about you as a person, coming with the atomic bombs. One risk that we escalated at work is that paper hands, as you like to call them, may sell, leaving the other funds not vulnerable to a massive attack, rendering all this useless. Hold if you can, and only if you can. Do not put yourself in a financial crisis. I truly mean that, my friends. Everybody needs to feed themselves first and take care of their family. This is a game of patience. Soon the direction will change. Huge buy orders will come, and they will artificially inflate the price, while other funds will have to think fast on get bankrupt sooner or be bankrupt later. Can't say much, but few funds already gave their CEOs and managers some quite fat bonuses. Why? This is the last song, last dance. They are looting the ship before it sinks. You have no reason to believe in me. I'm a random guy on the internet, but pay attention to the events that are going on, and you will understand that this is much bigger than just making a few bucks. If you put all this together, you will see that the silence of operations, see the low volume, means the silence before the storm. Wait to see the news of hedge fund managers hanging themselves. If you monkeys like to read, and if you people like to read some formal definition of this behavior, read this. I'm assuming he means like apes, because that's the thing going on right now. But that's what I wanted to point out. So essentially, we see really low volume right now, right? And my take on this, the volume on AMC and GameStop have been drastically decreasing every single day. And in the way that he's saying that could be like the calm before the storm. We have seen a drastic decrease overall in the amount of volume coming into the stock. And hedge funds really haven't been coming into this yet. And I think that does say something. You haven't seen, I mean, we did have BlackRock, right, which was in talks of establishing a larger position in AMC back in December 31st. And, we had that 13G signed on the 2nd of February, did come through for about 6.1 million shares. But besides that, we haven't seen huge institutions step into this. And why not? Because there is a lot of opportunity here. There's a lot of volume coming into a stock. With a lot of volume comes a lot of price action. A lot of price action comes a lot of opportunity to make money. Well, the most price action we've seen is in shorting, and you're not going to see every single hedge fund do this. And I think that's interesting. And I think the fact that people still talk about this does indicate to me that this is not a dead cat. This is slowing down before the storm. I 100% believe that. I really do. I truly do. And I want to show you something that Mark Cuban talked about. I've got a couple other things saved here that I want to show you. So Cuban talked about AMC on an AMA, Ask Me Anything, on Reddit. And he said this, basically. This was posted on February 2nd, 2021. Mark Cuban tutors Reddit traders on next move as AMC Entertainment, GameStop fall. If you can afford to hold the stock, you hold. And let me show you why. Imagine having something that costs you $10. Every day you have people trying to get you to sell it for $5, but every day that passes, they refuse to sell it, it's costing them $2. After 4 days, they paid $8. Now they offer you $6. You say no. 3 days later, they paid $14. Now they offer you $10. You still say no. 4 days later, they paid $22 just because you said no. Now they're willing to pay you $15. Tempting, yes. But that's the point where the offers keep going up. 4 days more, they paid $30 and have nothing nothing accumulated debt because you won't sell. Now they have to offer you 20, 30, 40, 50. The longer we all say no, the more they will pay to stop the daily cost for their bad investment decision. And this is exactly what this means. This might be the most interesting psychological experiment in finance in many years. Let's take a look. We know that if the little guys band together and hold together, it's a guaranteed win. That's not speculation. That's fact. And that's something I've been talking about in this channel forever. I can't do this by myself. There's no one investor on the planet that can make this happen. It depends entirely on the community holding their position in this stock. The amount of short shares simply exceeds the amount needed to cover them. If we collectively buy and hold, no matter what, we will win big and can walk away wealthy. Our resistance is not the short selling hedge funds. It's our two emotions, greed and fear. Greed, when we see it start to go up in $10 or $20 jumps and want to grab small profits. I'm assuming he's talking about GameStop, but this does apply to AMC as well. At the expense of others. Fear, when we see it start dropping and panic sell. And yet, hedge funds are still shorting the stock today because they believe we're not capable of overcoming those two emotions as a collective group. I'm in this thing just for the novelty of it. Win or lose, this is really something significant occurring here that I'll remember for some time. So what does this come down to? The exact message that I've been saying for the entire process through this YouTube series, my friends. And I genuinely want to double down on this when I say it, right? If you cannot financially put yourself in a situation to take the losses here, to be without the money, I really, really mean it when I say I don't want you to double down on your investment here, right? You need to feed yourself first. You need to take care of yourself first, right? I don't want you to stick it to the man and put yourself on the streets. That's not what this movement's about. And this is extremely risky. As I've said before, this is not Wall Street guaranteed. This is Wall Street bets. With high risk comes high reward. High reward meaning you can see the squeeze. And there are some people out there that have speculated the squeeze already happened. We saw it run from $3 up to 25, right? And that's true. That was a squeeze. GameStop did also squeeze. But in comparison to what is possible, the short interest is there. Hedges doubled down. And that's why I'm saying there's still potential for a squeeze. Now, if this happened, right, it hit 25.80 and it fizzled out, people took profits, and the short volume went down. It never returned. At that point, there's no squeeze happening, right? But we can see right here, there is still an extreme amount of short volume coming into the stock. There is. That's a fact. We can see the numbers here. That is factual. Comparatively to the whole market volume, that was almost 30% of the total market volume today was short volume, 44 million total shares. That's extremely, extremely high. We had SSR in place yesterday, and still there was 61 million in short volume, which is 27% of the total market volume for the day. That's extremely high. So we know there is still potential for a squeeze here. All that we're seeing is the shorts are winning the battle. That's exactly it. That's 100% the moral of the story here. So what can we do, right? Where's the hope? Where's the light at the end of the tunnel? The price is psychological, my friends. It 100% is. It's greed and fear, right? It's fear. Traders and investors are the only people that will be willing to buy something when it is overpriced and sell something when it is undervalued. Right now, AMC is undervalued, and that's a fact. If I was to go into a candy store, right, and they were trying to sell me a bar of chocolate for $100, I probably wouldn't buy that bar of chocolate. I'm going to be honest. But if I was to go to to a pawn shop and sell my my $5,000 guitar amp, and they offer me $10, I'd say, heck no, I'm not selling this for $10. You know what I mean? Not to say that this is a $5,000 stock, but let's say 100, right? Let's say that I'm trying to sell my $100 guitar, and they say, hey man, I'm gonna offer you $10. I'm not selling it. I'm not selling it for $10 because I know what it's worth. Right. And I'm not saying don't anticipate that I'm saying this is going to hit $100. There's no person on the planet that can anticipate the exact dollar sign on a squeeze. And if they tell you they can, they're lying to you. But what I am saying is right now, AMC is undervalued. The stock itself is worth more than $7, regardless of a squeeze. So honestly, if worse comes to worse, guys, and this does not pan out down the road, AMC has a lot of potential to be worth more than $7. It does. That's a fact. That's factual. This stock, before all this shenanigans happened, before COVID, right? If we look back 1 year, back in March, before everything started shutting down, this stock was trading at about $7.78. If you go back further than that, 5 years, take a peek. You can see what the stock is capable of, right? They have had a decrease in overall financials. We look at their last year, right? They haven't even. They've actually grown, which is absurd. So what this comes down to at the end of the day is sentiment, right? So people for whatever reason or another have just been selling the stock because they think this company is going to go bankrupt. It's insane. And I genuinely think when the country reopens, if this short squeeze does not happen, and I'm still bullish on this, guys, I'm still holding my position. I still think this is going to happen. I will continue to present you with the most relevant information that I find, the most recent numbers, the most recent Reddit threads, the most recent news that I think is valuable, and try to give you the best opinions that I can so you can make your own financial decisions. I will not tell you to buy, sell, or hold, right? That is entirely up to you. I will tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you what it takes for this situation to pan out. But ultimately, you need to feed yourself first. You need to make this happen for yourself first. And the opportunity for money is here, right? But the risk is high. The reward is higher. That is what it comes down to at the end of the day. There's one other thing that I want to point out to you guys. And this was shared with me on my Discord. So GameStop stock, AMC fall as Yellen meets with regulators on Reddit squeeze. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and other financial regulators are discussing market volatility stemming from short squeezes on GameStop stock and other Reddit-focused trades. GME stock and others plunged once again. Yellen is meeting with officials from the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Federal Reserve, the New York Fed, and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. We really need to make sure that our financial markets are functioning properly and that investors are protected. Yellen told Good Morning American Thursday ahead of the meetings. The market was rattled by retail investors from the Reddit group Wall Street Bets last week as the group looked to take on hedge funds in a massive short squeeze. The group targeted short sellers. The frenzy reached a fever pitch last week, and trading app Robinhood halted trading on GameStop, AMC Entertainment, and other shorted stocks. That sparked outrage online and from both sides of the aisle in Congress over who has access to trading and the ability to move markets. GameStop stock hearing scheduled. GameStop stocks tumbled 42% to close at $53.50 on the stock market today. AMC finished 21% down lower. BlackBerry edged up 1.25%. Clothing chain Express fell 8%, and headphone maker costs dropped 26.5%. Yellen's meeting on GameStop stock comes ahead of a House Financial Services Committee hearing scheduled for February 18th on the short squeeze titled GameStop: Who Wins and Loses When Short Sellers, Social Media, and Retail Investors Collide. Well, officials from the SEC, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, and the Depository Trust and Clearing Corp will testify, according to The Hill. A separate panel is expected to feature Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev and an executive from Reddit. Committee Chairwoman Maxine Waters also said she wanted Keith Gill, a Reddit trader known as Deep Effing Value, to testify. So it does look like there is quite a bit of potential ramifications that are come out of this. This was posted today on February 4th, and it does seem like they're really focusing on the situation right now with Reddit users more so than the actual hedge funds themselves. But this tells you, right? The media, the more they cover this, guys, the more this battle is still going. This is not over yet. This is the calm. The volume dropping right now. I mean, you can speculate all that you want, right? You can make your own formal decisions. I'm simply presenting the information to you. But what was said in this hedge fund situation, hedge fund insider reporting, this could be true, it could be not. As he said, this is just some random guy on the internet. But if this is true, he knows what he's talking about. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day, right? We know that there's so many layers to the situation with AMC. We know that they would not be doubling down on their short positions if there was not risk and reward involved. It's just as risky for them as it is for us. And at the end of the day, it's a battle between them and us. There are people out there who think that this battle is over. And if you truly think that, my friends, there's no shame whatsoever. And I understand where you're coming from, because this has been an emotional roller coaster. It's so tough. It's incredibly, incredibly hard. And I understand that. And guys, I know it's been hard for all of us, and I really understand that. I'm gonna wrap up this video, and that's all I got for you guys today. That's the information that I found on the news. That's the most recent numbers and statistics. That's my personal take. I do want to double down on the fact that if you cannot financially afford to put yourself in the situation to double down on your positions, to add, right? I understand. You need to feed yourself first. I've been there. And I understand. And if you feel like I misled you, I'm sorry. I've truly just did my best to present you guys with the most relevant information that I can find to never BS you guys, to be transparent, to show you my positions, to show you I've got skin in the game as well. The YouTube thing, luck. I don't take any of the credit for that. I got lucky. I don't expect any of you guys to give me super chats. I don't expect anybody to donate. I don't expect anybody to sign up for my Patreon. It's there as a resource if you want it, and that is simply it. That's what I have for you today. Thank you for watching the video, my friends, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.